Wherever you decide to keep yours is perfectly fine. The idea and the premise is the same, right? With a gratitude jar, what you're doing is you're going to put at least 5 things that you're extremely appreciative of and you're grateful for in a jar, located again in an identifiable place around your house. And anytime you start to feel down or you start to feel like you're not worthy of love, again, acceptance, and of companionship, just go to that gratitude jar and pick out one of those 5 things and say out loud what you're grateful for. So I've used this example in the past. One of my first gratitude jars was like I would go and I would pull my first note or piece of paper out, and it would say, I'm grateful for having a job. Next one would say, I'm grateful for having opportunities to pay my bill. The next one, I'm grateful for a car. I'm grateful for my girlfriend and roof over my head, so on and so forth. And as you start to put this gratitude jar and this gratitude practice in place, what you're doing is you're prompting and building up your subconscious, and you're telling yourself that it's not that bad, right? So within the moment, if you stay stuck in the emotion, things can seem horrible and it can seem bad. But once you remove yourself out of the emotion by doing something like creating a gratitude jar, then you'll realize that there's a ton of things that you have to be grateful for. You just have to focus on the positives and try to shift your thought process from the negative. And please don't be fooled. This can take a very, very long time, but once you put these steps in place, it'll be more than worth it, because now you'll not reach that low point in life anymore. The second question that we received for our insight from our former narcissist: what do narcissists do when they have a new victim? Once again, that question is, what do narcissists do when they have a new victim? The same thing they did to you. If they are able to attach to a new supply, then they'll do and display a lot of the same behaviors that they did with you. It'll start off really charming. They'll start off seeming like one of the best people in the world. And then once they know that you're a victim to them, or that you're a possible victim, then they'll start to show their true colors and display their true colors. So if you are someone who's looking at a narcissist now and they have a new supplier or a new victim, and you're like, oh man, they look so perfect or they're so charming, don't fool yourself. Give that relationship some time, and you'll start to see that individual treats that person exactly how they treated you, and you'll start to be appreciative of the fact that you got out of that situation. One thing that I'll say definitely don't want to do is go back into that situation thinking that this person has changed. They're just doing their charismatic and prompting and kind of playing around with that person up until they realize that they're a real victim for them. Then you'll start to see them display those true colors. Question number 3. What is something a narcissist can't fake? What is something a narcissist can't fake? That is a really good question. A narcissist can't fake like they care about you, right? It's over time. It's like initially, again, they might be charming, charismatic, but over time, you'll start to see with narcissists that the conversation comes back to them at all points in time, or it's always about them. And once you start to feel that, because you'll go along in a relationship and you'll start to pick up on their mannerisms, and you'll see that, okay, this person does not accept responsibility for their actions, or this person does not like to be held accountable for their actions when they're clearly wrong, and that's something they absolutely cannot fake. So I would challenge that your person that you might think is a potential narcissist at every angle when they do wrong, and not challenge them like, hey, you're wrong, hey, you don't. Just lightly say, hey, you forgot to do this, or you didn't do that. And if you find that they're reactive or they place blame on people, then there's a pretty good chance there's some narcissistic traits that are within that person, right? So they cannot fake caring about you extensively. What they can fake, though, is caring about others, right? So they could say, oh, I care so much about this person, or I care so much about that person. And you'll start to see, again, as you're questioning and you're challenging this person's thought process, you'll start to see some of those selfish, blame-centric characteristics come to play. Question number 4. Would a narcissist lie about someone they used to know as a means of trying to find out dirt on them? Once again, Would a narcissist lie about someone they used to know as a means of trying to find dirt on them? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You can't put anything past a narcissist. And I know that just sounds crazy, but narcissists tend to make their own dialogue up in their head and they run with it. I would challenge you to dig a little deeper. When this narcissist is talking about this quote unquote stalker and this person that's stalking them, I would try to do some research and see if this person was an ex or someone that they used to mess around with, because those are the people that narcissists like to keep within their tentacles. And the reason that is it's all about power, right? It's all about control, and it's like, okay, do I still have a level of control over this person, or do I still have some sort of control over this individual? So that's where I would look. I would dig a little deeper and see if this person that they're alleging to be their stalker is actually somebody who they've dated or who they've been in a relationship with. And I would not be surprised if you find out that they had something going with that person in the past, and that's their reason for saying that, oh, this person is stalking me now, when in fact, person probably is happy that they're out of their lives. And then finally, question number 5. How does a narcissist act or respond when the victim no longer shows that they are intimidated? Once again, that question is, how does a narcissist act and respond when the victim shows that they are no longer intimidated? They usually shut down, right? When you show that you can't be controlled, when you show that you're not afraid of their controlling tactics and tendencies, they usually shut down. So they'll get quiet. They may not talk to you for a period of time. They may even move out the house or go to extreme measures. But all it is it's them withdrawing because they realize that you're no longer someone who they can treat as a victim or who they can get a supply off of. And I would also say that in that time period that they're recognizing that you're no longer intimidated and recognizing that you're going to challenge them, they're looking for another supply, or they're looking for a new victim in that time frame. So be mindful of their mannerisms and how they behave once you show that you're no longer intimidated, because then their mind starts to flow and drift towards, okay, who else is out there that I can put my tentacles in, right? And as you start to see those signs, hopefully you're not married with this person, you're able to separate yourself from this person, because eventually they will find a new supply, especially once they realize that you're no longer falling for their BS and you're not afraid of them anymore. All right, so that's all I have for you guys tonight. You've survived another Wednesday with us at the Quality of Love podcast. We really, really appreciate it, guys. Remember, you guys are more than welcome to hit us up at tqlp20@gmail.com with any questions that you guys have for our Wednesday episodes. Once again, that's tqlp20@gmail.com. Or you guys are more than welcome to hit us up on our Facebook page, the Quality of Love podcast. And remember, guys, as always, the quality of love and relationships that you have in your life will determine the quality of your life. Peace and love.